to Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today we have a special double issue episode for you. X-Men number 8 and Uncanny X-Men number 7, part 1 and part 2 of Raid on GRAYMALKIN. But first, let's rate those covers. X-Men number 8 gets a barely passing 65%, drawn by Ryan Stegman. The art is cool, but this little fisticuffs depiction never really occurs in this X-Men issue. It would have been better suited for the Uncanny X-Men title, so it's more of foreshadowing than actual cover bait. Plus, having only 2 characters on the cover, well, not even their whole bodies, seems a bit lazy considering everyone that's involved in this issue. Uncanny X-Men number 7 fares a little bit better. I gave it a 78%. David Marquez does a good job including all the field characters of both teams, but the staring contest, it's a bit boring. These issues, Raid on GRAYMALKIN from X-Men and Raid on GRAYMALKIN, No Walls Can Hold Us Part 2, it's a bit misleading calling these 2 books part 1 and part 2, considering the events of both books are occurring simultaneously to the point where many of the frames are virtually identical. Part of these books feel much like an art off between the 2 artists copying each other's homework. Cyclops rounds the team up. Situational briefing. Beast has been kidnapped and needs rescuing. He also makes the distinction of calling Beast an X-Man, letting the team know without saying it that any X-Man would garner the same rescue efforts with the same fervor. I enjoy seeing how Jed MacKay is writing Kid Omega. Kid Omega is like the beat cop who takes witness statements from everyone in the area, going door to door, but he does it telepathically, linking up the witnesses' memories together to put the pieces all together of what happened to Beast. Beast was taken to Westchester, New York, to the former Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, now converted into a prison called GRAYMALKIN Prison, holding only mutants prisoner. Cyclops already has a battle plan in place, and Kid Omega links that plan telepathically to the team. It's quite efficient. Cyclops is normally level-headed, but this mission to rescue Beast is emotional. In the Krakoan era, Cyclops felt that he lost Beast to the dark side. But this is the Beast Cyclops grew up with. He feels like he's got his brother back, and he doesn't want to lose him a second time. Even though the 2 X-Men teams are clearly separated, both in great distance but also in ethos, it's hard to imagine Cyclops taking the time to call Rogue and let her know what mission he's about to go on. Even in the cell phone era, Cyclops tells Rogue to back off, allow his team to conduct the rescue mission. Rogue, well, goes rogue. The GRAYMALKIN prison goons got 2 of her people as well, so she tells Cyclops to suck it. While Cyclops' X-Men seem well organized, executing his protocols that are linked telepathically, allowing each person to perfectly understand their role in the mission, Rogue's X-Men seem like they're making it up as they go, just winging it. I mean, half of the team are kids, rookies. And while Cyclops has been called the best field leader ever, Rogue is more of a smash first, ask questions later than a field leader. Lucky Gambit has that Eye of Agamotto to allow Rogue's team to teleport. Very convenient. Even though these titles are technically versus each other, it's clear which one is more considered. Jed MacKay's writing seems to flow better, work more cohesively. And then you have Gail Simone, expecting everyone to just accept that Gambit, who is not a sorcerer in any sense at all, is able to wield this powerful magical amulet. Okay. Beast awakens in GRAYMALKIN Prison in shock and awe. The melanated lady in all white is the warden. She's named Karina Ellis, and she is a real piece of crap mutant hater. I had to do some research on these new Gail Simone created mutants, and well, the jury is still out for me. Jubilee is sat next to one of these newly created mutants, and she's called Calico. I don't know why this girl has named herself after a cat when she is a horse girl. Another shake my head with these four sim mutants. That's what I call them, Simone mutants, sim mutants. Anyway, while Jubilee is confident, spunky, and outgoing, Calico is just the opposite. Calico just doesn't like the food. Like, she honestly thinks she's getting entitled to some better sustenance. Calico comes from big money. Her mom has sheltered her from pretty much everything. Jubilee calls Beast over to sit with them. She knows Beast, but he doesn't know her. That doesn't stop Jubilee from continuing on like they're old best friends anyway. These 2 pages are mainly here to build up the confidence arc for Calico and why they kidnap Beast. Karina Ellis either doesn't know or doesn't care that this Beast is not the one she believes him to be and is planning to put him on trial and executed for his crimes against humanity. But even as big of a mutant hater that Ellis is, her love for money supersedes her hate. You see, Calico's rich mama paid for her freedom, as long as she goes home and promises not to do any mutant stuff anymore. Calico makes a tough choice: her mom or her new mutant family. In tears, she chooses her mutant family. On a side note, nobody uses a fork like that to eat. I mean, come on now. Well, Warden Karina Ellis feels disrespected. Yeah, she gonna let Calico leave, but she's gonna deliver her as damaged goods after she has a guard beat the snot out of her. Beast stands in and takes the walloping instead. All the mutants are wearing anklets that turn off their powers, which is why no one is fighting back. The question I have is, if Beast is wearing a power dampener, why does he still look blue and furry? Isn't his physical appearance a result of his mutant gene? So dampening that gene would change his appearance back into human, right? Either way, Karina Ellis lays it on thick, having the crap beat out of Beast. She is a true evil villain. As expected, Jubilee's little spicy mouth gets her in trouble. Karina Ellis, the warden, has a guard shock the shit out of her for her disobedience and recalcitrance. Calico sees her friend Jubilee downed, but what can she do? She is still quite meek and emotionally fried. The guard is also about to release her. Meanwhile, Cyclops' ship, the Marauder, has just entered into the zone where they're about to launch their attack on the prison. The guards were going to drop Calico off at a restaurant or gas station, but Calico refuses and chooses to walk. Here, Gail Simone's writing is suspect. The girl is super sheltered. She has no street smarts. It's nighttime. She's all alone and scared. And Gail Simone wants us to accept that this little girl, in 3 frames, talks herself up to be some action hero, a save-the-day fearless attitude. Sometimes critics use the Mary Sue reference too flippantly, but in this case, I believe it is well deserved. She somehow immediately gets a change of personality, of grit and gumption, things that can't be taught, that have to be created through experience. And Simone wants us to believe in 3 frames of a tiny baby little pep talk to herself. This meek, weak-hearted little girl now has the eye of the tiger? This is Mary Sue writing. And just as Cyclops' team is in position overhead, Rogue's team is in position behind a tree, all huddled up like the Cleveland Browns. Not very sound tactically on Rogue's team. One good shot could take out their entire team. Conversely, we see what a sound tactician operates like. And we get our first glimpse of copy pasta. On the left is the Uncanny book, and on the right, the X-Men title. Who did it best? Let me know in the comments. Cyclops orders Kid Omega to attack with the ship, Magic to bring up some support units from Limbo and teleport in the assault team. He tells Magic, no murdering! Mutant-human relations need to be considered. Magic says, no fun. Cyclops replies, when has he ever been fun? The McKay banter is just better. And it is an objective fact. Okay, here we go. The raid on GRAYMALKIN has officially kicked off. This Mary Sue Calico is able to, in one swing, mind you, one swing of her little metal construct, knock back 2 entire tanks through a thick brick wall. Okay. Each tank averages about 50 tons. So one swing of her little mental mace can knock back 100 tons with enough force to lift them off the ground and through a thick wall uh, with no danger room training or anything. She's just got it like that. I don't think so, Mary Sue ass. This is why I don't do Uncanny X-Men. But these damn tie-ins! It's the tie-ins! The X-Men and Cyclops' team deliver a much more visually appealing and probable initial attack, having Magic teleport the ship into the prison's airspace and have Kid Omega launch an attack using the ship. Cyclops' assault team of himself, Temper, and Psylocke have teleported in. His trump card, Juggernaut, is just outside down the road, about to get himself a nice running start. Simultaneously, he has Kid Omega as air support, Magic's demons from Limbo, causing a serious distraction with the guards. See, he controls the chaos. Cyclops does. His operation is a well-oiled machine. Another example of copy pasta here. I don't see how these two books are part 1 and part 2 when they are both telling basically the exact same story. They're just different angles at it. And like here, the exact same angles. I do like how Ryan Stegman has drawn Magic's little, big demon monsters. It's very cool. Meanwhile, inside the prison, Warden Karina Ellis seems unfazed. It's like a game of spades. She's holding her more potent cards until later rounds. Jubilee takes advantage of the chaos of the attack. With all the commotion, no one will notice her springing herself from her cell. This prison has some piss-poor security measures. If Jubilee was able to smuggle an entire fork from the mess hall to her cell in her armpit. Simone's writing. Anyway, her intention is to use this one little fork to short circuit the ankle dampener, knowing it will shock the crap out of her. One, why are these ankle dampeners so easily overpowered? And two, how does Jubilee know how to use a regular fork in this way? Suspect. Either way, she is now free and looking for some payback with the warden, Karina Ellis. Cyclops' assault team is running, boy. Before Beast was captured, Beast had upgraded their suits with this anti-tracking tech from when they fought the Shrike units back in X-Men number 3. So the warden's staff can't pinpoint their location with the cameras or sensors. However, real-life people have real-life eyeballs on Cyclops' assault team, and these idiots foolishly charge instead of running away. Why do the stormtroopers or the Hydra soldiers or the Foot Clan, why do they never learn? They're just human fodder, empty beer cans just waiting to be crushed. Cyclops lets loose with the wide beam, and those he hasn't taken out are dealt with by Temper and Magic. Those goons never had a chance. This is why the X-Men book is so fun. Kid Omega still cannot locate Beast with his telepathy. Too many minds for him to muddle through. But he can feel the pain that was inflicted upon Beast. I guess that is why Kid Omega likes to just sit in the car, safer in the car. Psylocke uses her Psy Knife to gather more intel. This freaking prison, this place of hate and horror has been experimenting on mutants, turning them into, kind of like slaves, basically, and calling them trustees. Speaking of trustees, the Blob busts through the wall doing his best Kool-Aid Man, oh yeah! Here's another example of both comics depicting the exact same moment. Who did it better? I like Ryan Stegman in the X-Men version better, but let me know your opinion down in the comments. With a simple touch, Rogue essentially saves Cyclops from having to deal with Marshmallow Man Blob, and the two X-Men teams finally come face to face. Is it a happy occasion? It should be, but the tensions are high. Cyclops tells Rogue and her team to go home. That's probably not going to happen. As the two teams have a staring competition, the warden Karina Ellis launches her own counterattack. She uses sonic tech to sideline Kid Omega and then uses one of her trustees named Scurvy to make the two X-Men teams mad at each other and start fighting. Cyclops is playing for this and he plays his trump card, calling the Juggernaut to the party. Scurvy has put the X-Men teams in fight mood. One of the newbies, Ransom, takes the first swing. Not a smart move, kid. Jitter attacks Psylocke. Now this is laughable. You think even 1 minute of gold medal level wrestling is any match for a professional ninja with side blades and telepathy? And the kid only has 1 minute to wrestle. Well, the Uncanny X-Men veterans have to save their little recruits from Cyclops' team as they're getting walloped. Maybe the most satisfying moment of these issues is when Beast not only saves Jubilee and Calico from some GRAYMALKIN prison guards, he gets a bit of revenge in a furious yet acrobatic display of pure animalistic power. The prison warden, Karina Ellis, is down to her final defenses. She calls for the trustees and the Wolf Pack to finish off the X-Men. The two X-Men teams continue to scuffle. It seems more like sparring. And here are my thoughts on this Death Dream, Gail Simone created character, thinking that he's going to go toe-to-toe with Magic. How cocky is this young Japanese boy for real? Sure, in his dead state, he can call up souls to help him fight, but he is unexperienced compared to Magic, and Magic has a freaking soul sword. The sword sends the souls and demons back from whence they came. This little boy thinks this dead realm is scarier than Limbo. Is he for real right now? Anywho, Cyclops is smiling because his own Kool-Aid Man is about to join the party and mix it all up. I guess whoever has a Juggernaut wins, right? Cyclops brings the focus back to reality, gets the teams to stop fighting as they notice a cell uncovered by Juggernaut's entrance. Is Professor X in there? As the X-Men decide if they should or shouldn't open the cell, the trustees and the Wolf Pack show up telling the X-Men to piss off, which of course I doubt they will. I don't know why Blob seems so confident. He was soloed by Rogue just a minute ago. Toad and Siren have a bunch of robot wolves. Don't seem much of a threat with the firepower both X-Men teams have on deck. We will finish part 3 and 4 in the next episode, so make sure that you subscribe, like the video, and let me know which X-Men team is your favorite and why. See you real soon. Peace.